Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. So I am so excited. Today we are going to be starting a DIY project. So we are going to be doing a kitchen remodel renovation on a budget. So I already started clearing out a lot of things out of the kitchen. So we're going to do the walls, this door, redo these ugly cabinets, the countertop. So I already started to clean the oven vent. So this right here looked like this, okay? So I'm going to show you guys what I used. I used this right here, which is called a stainless steel rust remover. It's called Clean My Steel. This is amazing. So you just basically rub everything on and let it sit for about 6 to 7 minutes. And then voila, it wipes off just like this. And your stainless steel comes out the opposite of this. So I'm going to show you guys the floor. This is the current condition of the floor. So I still have a few more things to clear out, but we are off to a good start. So this is the other countertop. So everybody, so this is the leftover paints from another project that I did. So I'm going to be mixing some paints. I have some blues, I have some turquoise, and we are going to mix it up and we are going to make a beautiful color cabinet. So here's some more paints that we have right here. All right, got to use them up. It's leftover, so stay tuned. So just wanted to loop you in on how we mix the paint. So this right here is the shark loop. We already poured a little bit in there. This right here is the turquoise, a little bit in here. Like a marble color, kind of what I'm going for, but I'm not done yet. I'm going to add some more up in here. So as I mentioned, these paints are reused, so it kind of has the sealant on here from the dried up paint. You just remove that off like so, and then you can pour. This right here is called silver. So we're going to try a tad on this wall right here. Oh, kind of like that. So it's more like a blue. I think I might go back to the working station and just try to see if I can get it a little bit more gray. So we're trying out this product. It's called GP66. It's a miracle cleaner for the floor. So we're trying it out. When you have floors like us that have had built up dirt, grime, grease, etc., you want to make sure that before you lay the peel and stick tiles down, that you clean the tiles that you currently have completely and clearly. So just to recap, we use this stainless steel rust remover for our kitchen vent. But we're also going to try this out for the floor because we have so much dirt, grease, grime built up over the years. We're going to try it out. So I'll let you guys know how it goes. So to test it out, to see which one does better, which product, the GP66 is on this tile right here. And then the stainless steel rust remover is on this tile right here. So let's do a wipe down. So far, the stainless steel rust remover has been down for about 10 minutes. So I can honestly say that it did get up some dirt, dust, grime. But let's see how the GP66 actual floor cleaner did. So now let's try the tile that has the GP66. You can tell a clear difference, ladies and gentlemen. A clear difference. It works kind of like a miracle, like how they said on the bottle. Oh yes, we are using this. After this, it kind of makes you not even want to change your tiles out when you see it looking so nice and bright the way that it was intended to be. All right, so this is the before and after. Clear difference. GP66 on Amazon. We'll share the link. All right, so the next step, what we did is we took off the doors first. Then we lined the cabinets. At the bottom, you can see we have painter's tape. At the top, so this is for when we sand, it'll protect everything that's inside. So I'm going to take you around. We also did the countertops, so that way when we paint the ceiling, it will not get paint on the appliances. Another step, we labeled every single cabinet. So every cabinet is labeled with the pieces, so that way it can go back on. All right, so this cleaner, which is GP66, we showed you this on the floors. So now we're going to show you this on the countertops. Remember, when you put the backsplash in, the adhesive has to stick, so everything has to be nice and clean. So I'm going to zoom in right here. I'm going to spray. You actually let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. So we let it sit, and then now we're going to wipe off to show you. This is a damp sponge. If you can see that, all of the dirt and grime is coming off. So you can either use the sponge side, and if you have tough to clean spots, you can scrub it. After that, you want to make sure that you wet, squeeze, get all of the dirt and grime, and then go at it again. All right, so this is the before, dirt and grime. This is the after. So our goal is to get the whole entire counter spick and span like this.
Everything we show you in this video is not sponsored. We use our own money to buy these products. And please don't forget to share this video and hit that like button, guys. It's free. It don't cost you a thing. So hit that like button.
All right, so you want to make sure that all of the bags are secure, so that way no sawdust or anything gets into your dishes. Next, you want to make sure that you have the right PPE, personal protective equipment, definitely masks, goggles, and now we're ready to start sanding. All right, so the purpose of the sanding is to get the wood down to its bare minimum, so that way the paint goes on and stays on. Right now, it kind of has a glossy polyurethane texture on it, so we need to get it down to the bare wood. The product that we are using is the DuraGold Long Lasting Durable Sandpaper. This sandpaper is way better than, we actually brought these other sandpapers. Oh, here it is. Which is basically from the Dollar Tree. This did not work. It didn't even put a dent into the wood by sanding it down. So these are the right ones. And the sander that we're using is the DEWALT sander, the DWE6411K. Works like a charm. Try to... All right, so some spots, if your drawers cannot come out, you may have to hand sand it. All right, so this is the way that the cabinets look sanded. Right here, over here, we did a tester of the paint. You always want to sand down your cabinets and then test the paint. Hold it up to make sure that it is the correct color that you would like before you do all 15 cabinets. Right here, we spray painted the door handle. So this right here, so these hinges are actually bronze. And what we're doing with this is we put it in Remove Your Rust solution. And we're going to spray paint it. So that way it matches the door handles, it matches everything that we need it to match.
So these hinges are numbered and labeled for each cabinet doors. Okay? And what I do is I use this rust cleaner on them, and I let the rust cleaner sit on them overnight. Okay, so I wanted y'all to actually see all the rust and grime that's actually on these hinges. You'll see how they are, right? You want to wet them? Use cold water, guys. Cold water, okay? Watch this. Now, the purpose of me actually cleaning each one of these hinges is because instead of me buying them, reuse what I got. I'm going to spray paint these to match the handles that we picked out for our cabinets. Do y'all already see the difference? In fact, let's wash that off. Before, after. Big difference, right? Big difference. I didn't even clean right here yet, but I wanted y'all to see the difference it made. Before, after. Totally different. And I'm going to keep on scrubbing all around the hinges like that to get rid of all the old rust and grime and dirt that's built up over the years of these cabinets been up off these hinges. And if your hinges are stiff with your cabinet doors, this is what you need to do, because it actually flows a lot more smoother once you clean them. Then you need a sponge, okay? That sponge is going to get off any excess stainless steel rust remover. The sponge actually get off the excess that's on here. And big difference, guys. Big difference. Well, don't forget to hit that like button, guys. If you pretty much like the information I'm giving you and this is like helpful to you, just let me know that you at least it helps you in some way or you appreciate the information. Just hit the like button. It's free. It don't cost you a thing. Share this video to your friends and family, you know, who's doing a home project and need a little help or something. But yeah, just don't forget to hit the like button just to let me know that you at least watch it and you enjoyed it or this was some help to you.
You want to make sure that your screws are in there tight. So the way that we did it, we put the door on the hinge on the door first, and then we attached it to the cabinet.
Now we're laying a contact paper down on top of the counters. Here we're using a blow dryer to help stretch the contact paper over the counters to help it stick down better.
Knife, you want to cut the tile alongside. So we're making a straight line to put here. As you can see right here, it says overlapping. Turn around so you can see it says overlap here. So we want to start it off and then continue to overlap as we go through. All right, so this is the peel and stick tile. So you peel it right here. You leave the plastic on until you flatten it all out. Get it to exactly where you want it to be. Right now, I want it to be down as far as it can go. All right, so you want to smooth it out. Now you want to take the plastic off the front. That's just a protective piece that they placed on there. You can smooth it out some more. And as you can see, these are on pretty sturdy. So this is beautiful metal tile. So we are going to put this as a backsplash behind the stove. So the brand is called Yipscazo. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it comes in a pack looking like this from Amazon, and it comes in 5 different tiles, 5 of the same tiles. So what I usually do is I start off by peeling off the front. Then I take the back off. Now I'm ready to apply it, and then I take the top off first. So before I press down hard on it, first I measured it. Now I make sure that it's in the right place. Then I start to press. Once I see that I have everything correct, so you want to press, you want to completely flatten it out as much as possible. Put a little pressure in there, and now you take the plastic part off. After I take the plastic off, oh, this towel's so pretty. After I take the plastic off, I smooth it down a little bit more. Make sure that it's up there. These towels are extremely thick. As you can see on the back, it has a really thick layer. The metal is also thick as well. The metal cannot be cut. You would need basically like shear cutters or metal cutters to cut it. So you kind of want to make sure that you get it right on the first try. Pat on down, pack. All right, so once you put these towels up, the adhesive is so strong that you can't take it off. And if you do take it off, you have to scrape it off, and it will pull up every ounce of paint. So this came off of a wall that was white. I didn't even know that the wall behind it was red until these little pieces got on it, and I had to take it off because it was a space in between. So the moral of the story is just to make sure that you get it right the first time around. Measure it again. You know, practice. I wish somebody would have told me that before I got down to my bare wall to realize that it was, you know, not able to come off. But that's why I'm letting everybody know. So what I'm going to do with these pieces are basically fill in the bottom part. I'm going to fill in the bottom areas and measure them out so that way we can not have all of the space in between. So I have to change the pattern up a little bit in order to hide this right here, which is in between the backsplash near the sink and the backsplash near the stove. So what we chose to do is just cut the squares out and just line it up to cover this gap right here.
So while my wife is finished doing the backsplash, finishing up, I am going to be doing the floors. I'm going to start from behind the fridge back here and work my way out, all the way out towards in the kitchen. These are the towels that I'm going to be using. So we end up using this to hold, it's called Stick and Stay. to actually hold the towel down, because if you just put them down, they're just going to lift up. Like, they're sticky towels, but if you want it to last for a long time without the towels lifting up, get a spatula with it.
So we also chose to add the stick and stay because this particular part of our floor is where the refrigerator goes, and it happens to be very unlevel. So if you have an unlevel floor, you want to use some type of extra cohesive base item, which we chose stick and stay. So as you can see, not too much, not too little, just enough to get into the rectangular shape. You also want to make sure that you use some type of glove.
Now, this is the one that I just used it on. And look, it already sticks. It will not lift up. It dries really quick, people. Look, I am pulling on it. And it would not lift up. So that's the purpose of this. This is some really good stuff. And it's really strong. So as soon as you put it down, make sure that you stick the towels on it and it will stay. Repeat, do not use your bare hands. Use gloves. Okay? What's that?
All right, so we move the refrigerator back on the tiles right here.
Now behind the fridge and in this walk area right here, the towels are permanently stick down and it's completed. I left this little area right here open for everyone to see the original state of the floor, and these are the new towels that we're placing over the floors. And I actually started to cut these towels out to match the shape of the walls as I go along and place them on the floor in sections, and then afterwards I permanently stick them on the floor. So what I mean is, you see the shape of this wall? I cut the towel to match the shape of this wall. And as you can see, it easily slide out because I have not peeled the back off for the adhesive to permanently stick, you know, down. And I did that even over here as well. Hold on. Even over here as well. See? It lifts up very easily and comes out to match the shape of the wall. All right? Now, I'm going to do it in sections like I said. So I'm going to do up to this point. Then I'm going to peel it off and permanently stick it down. Then I'm going to move on to the next area in the next section after that throughout the whole course of the kitchen. And that's how I'm able to make sure that everything is aligned, everything is cut out the right way, and everything will be done the right way. Okay? I start by moving all the towels I cut out of the way. And I get a comfy cushion for my knees. And now we start laying the towels down. Now, in the beginning, you saw me put the sticky adhesive on the floor, but I decided to put it on the towel. I find that it's a lot more easier to do. You could pretty much do it whichever way that you feel comfortable doing it. So I got a stone from out of my garden to use as a spacer for my stove. So what I did was I put the same stone on the right, and I was able to slide a towel underneath on the left, and then I moved it from the right over to the left so that this way I could be able to slide a towel underneath on the right hand side. So it's a great alternative to instead of you having your spouse standing here holding the stove up, or if you're by yourself, this is a very creative way and option for you to find a quick spacer.
All right, so these particular tiles has a certain pattern. So what we chose to do was to match up the tile and try different tiles to make sure that this gray pattern right here, I'll zoom in, goes in the proper direction. And then we peel off the backing. After that, we use the stick and stay. As stated before, without the stick and stay, the tiles really do not stick and stay. She getting fancy doing 2 at a time. Gotta have a little fun while we work,
You don't want to put too much stick and stay on the towels. You just want it to coat it, but very lightly. Like I said in the beginning of this tiling process, you could do it any way you want, but I find that when it's coated lightly, it tends to stick better and faster. So right now I'm just getting all the excess up off the tiles.
If you notice, she didn't do too much on the ends because you don't want it to bubble up.
Yeah.
Lay that baby down. Kind of give it a good step on it. This one we got to push up a little bit. So you do have a little bit of time before the stick and stay dries up and completely sticks. So that does give you a little bit of time to like fix your imperfections. All right, so we broke down and got a vinyl tile cutter. This is what it looks like. It's called Project Source right here. It does work very, very well. We were unable to get the box cutter to cooperate. So this is how the tile cutter works. We pencil in backwards on the downside what we want to cut, and then you take the handlebar like so. And voila, now you have a nice straight cut. Another thing I like about this one actually has a ruler on here. So we had some pieces that require 6-inch, so we were able to cut that. Just a reminder, everything in this video is not sponsored, and do not forget to click the like button, share, tell a friend of a friend, co-workers, everything. Thank you. So currently right now, the borders have to be placed back. So just a reminder, these are the borders that were spray painted earlier. So right now you mark the holes, how you want to nail it down. You mark it with a pencil. So that way you know exactly what to drill. This saves you from drilling the hole in an incorrect place. Want to zoom in on it? Now. This is another trim that we spray painted, and then the wall trim. I'll show you what we used. We used this flex trim self-stick vinyl wall base. So we will fill you in. So this particular one is only the self-stick. This one we had some trouble because the wall is bumpy. So we used the stick and stay on this one. All right, so this is creativity. So we could not find the over-the-range kitchen vent to fit our particular vent. So what we did was we ordered a 2-pack of a smaller size. And here's where the creativity comes in. We're putting it together as we speak. 440. This is the vent right here. So it's definitely still functions. This is where the filter goes. It's about 40 to 50 years old. So still functions, but it is pretty old. That's why we can't find the correct size. It's like an 18-inch by 8. To accent the metal tile wall, we chose to change this particular outlet out from white to this silver. So this, unscrewed it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. One last tour of the before. So remember how this wall looks, everybody, because we are going to change this around with a awesome backsplash. So remember how this wall looks as well. We are going to do a different type of backsplash. Same thing here. Also, outlet, pay attention to how that is. And these handles. Everybody knows handle can make a cabinet look fabulous. I'm going to show you guys the floor. This is the current condition of the floor. So I still have hey guys, so this is the finished product. We are super excited to show you guys. So we decided to add a backsplash to this wall. It accents the one inside of the kitchen that we'll do a close-up with in a little bit. Right here, we changed out this outlet. Going into the kitchen, right here, you have the marble contact paper that you cannot even tell that this is contact paper at the first glance. Over here, we chose to keep it the same contrast with the contact paper. So these are the cabinets. So if you remember the cabinets before, they were completely wooden. So we kept the door hinges right here, spray painted them, and the handles are actually new. So we sized them up, and back here is the backsplash. We changed this outlet right here. This is the metal backsplash that accents the wall. Over here, if you remember, this door looked horrible before. So we completely transformed this door. We spray painted the handles. So remember guys, this project is completely on a budget. So we tried to use as many products as possible and just shine them up, make them look new, spray paint them, paint them. Speaking of paint, so we decided to do an accent wall. Originally, we were going to do gray walls all around, but the way that this particular ceiling curves down, we decided to just go ahead and leave it white and paint over it with a super white color. Right here, this is the gray accent wall, along with here. This is another outlet that we actually changed out. And onto the floors. So I'm going to do a walkthrough with you. For the floors, the tiles are the 12 by 24 tiles. Marble, and they look amazing. They go down amazing. They're practical so far. They remain clean. Another thing that I'm going to show you guys is this trim under here. Trim was added. Yeah, so we are just super excited with this. Like we said, it just won't be the last project. So be sure to stay tuned and like this video. And don't forget to subscribe.
So, not only did we actually updated and remodeled the kitchen, we actually added some functional pieces in this kitchen to help us maximize counter space and also improve our daily function as we go along. Let's start with outside the kitchen. You see a beautiful tile display that creates a statement as soon as you enter the kitchen. But what you don't know is we actually added a sensor light right here that actually comes on at night. And we also added one above the dish rack right here. So the way it works is while the light is on, or if it's the daytime, these lights will not come on. But when it's not, the lights actually goes off, or if it's nighttime, the motion sensor light actually do come on when it senses motion, for example. And it comes on to light and illuminate the backsplash as well as in the kitchen. So as you can see, the motion sensor light do come on for both areas. And what happens is when there's no movement, the light actually do go off on its own. Now, once you actually enter the kitchen, you will notice a little breakfast table we added in the kitchen to maximize all our space and usage, as well as a little plant right here to give it a little depth. Now, as you proceed, moreover, the statement piece of the kitchen is this dish rack. We actually linked it down below. Where you can get it from is off Amazon, and it's really one of the best buys next to the motion sensor light that we actually got. So the thing about this dish rack is the functionality is really great. Instead of us having our normal dish rack that actually goes here on the countertop to dry our dishes and cause water stains, we actually decided to upgrade and get this one here that actually the dishes drip dry over the sink to eliminate water stains, and it's a perfect item to add to your kitchen. Now, what you need to know about this thing, it actually comes with different hooks where you can actually, hook and move your pieces around. Every piece on this dish rack is literally movable and adjustable, so you can move the cup strainer holder over to the left. This right here is actually a cutting board holder, but we use it to put more paper towel and napkins in. But also you could also take it apart, or you know, move it to whatever side you want, or even put it right over here behind. So pretty much it's like you could pretty much move this dish rack around, rearrange it any way you want, even down to the knife holder. You could actually slide it over to whichever way you want. You know, it's a great buy. Like I said, I'll link it down below. Now, also, we maximize the area that we have. So instead of us using our dish sponge and rag and leaving it in here to drip dry, or just leaving the sink or on top of the countertops, which cause mold and water damage, we decided to get these little rag holders. We got it off wish.com, and which I also link down below. It helps the sponge stay cleaner, the water drip off into the sink, and it's no mess at all. So it's just a overall great buy. Next item. So this right here, we actually got from Dollar Tree, and we did not link it down below because, like I said, I got it from Dollar Tree. So what it is actually a mat that we actually use to put our hot pots or plates on, because what I realized is that this contact paper that's actually we use over the surfaces of our countertops and island, it doesn't do well with hot items. It tends to bubble up, and we don't want to damage it. So we actually put our hot pots here, plates, anything that is hot. We even chop on this because it could use as a cutting board as well. It's really good. You should pick this up in the kitchen section at Dollar Tree. So here we actually bought a metal storage bin. So at the bottom of the bin, as you can see, is movable. We use it for fruits. Sometimes we put vegetables in there, and it actually helped lift our microwave up off the countertop, which help us maximize the full use and storage space as well of our countertops and kitchen. So the functionality is really great. Now, as you proceed onto our beautiful island, you would see a bread box. Now, like I said, this is a more of a required taste type of an item, but the functionality for us is really good. Not only do we store breads in here, we can store cookies or chips, whatever we don't feel like putting in the fridge. But yeah, it just adds as another storage space. And like I said, it's a required taste item, but it works for us, and it helps keep our bread fresher, longer. Now, this is actually linked down below as well. We actually got this off wish.com. So if you're interested, the item is going to be linked down below in the description box. So please keep in mind, guys, everything we're showing you is not sponsored. Like, we use our own money to buy every last item. Every tile that's on the walls, you know, every last tile we actually got off Amazon ourselves, and it's also linked down below in the description box. The flowers, these are for my wife's birthday, and you know, it just add a nice little touch to the kitchen to make it look just not only beautiful but tasteful. So we also actually went to Dollar Tree and we saw this little mat, and we thought this was also a great taste to add into our kitchen. Our nest is our best. We actually picked it up the same time we picked up that little chop-in mat, and it works out great. It's a great functional piece, and for the most part, yeah, that conclude our kitchen tour. I wanted you to see when we actually put everything back in the kitchen. So thank you again. I appreciate you watching. Like, share, and subscribe.